Well, hello and welcome to the Points of Interest podcast. This is the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Hi, everyone. It's like we're actually in a new season. It's kind of incredible that we're in it. How are you, Josh? How are you doing this new season called fall?
Cold.
Or autumn.
Cold. Just as soon as I get a hold of my regular depression, right? The cold winds start sweeping through the state, and I go, "Oh, there's the seasonal depression sweeping into the realm. I got to deal with that now."
You got to sandwich your depression with seasonal depression.
Yeah, exactly.
Like an Oreo cookie.
I'm a big proponent of warm weather and sunshine. So we still get a ton of sun in Colorado in the winter, but man, it's cold, and it's not as cold as other places. I get that, but damn it, I can't regulate my body temperature very well, so I suffer.
Who can really? No, look, it's funny. No one would believe this, but I like cold weather. Like, that's my preferred temperature, is being cold. Luckily, it doesn't have to be that cold for me to get cold.
That is true.
It's really easy for me to feel like chilly and happy. So, yeah.
It's too bad that we can't swap positions for 6 months. You can come to Colorado and deal with snow and stupid winter clothing that goes when you walk. And the sound, the sound of the snow makes too when you're walking on the snow. Not a fan.
Sounds like you're squishing a duck over and over again.
I guess, yeah, that is kind of what that sounded like, huh? Oh, well.
No, it's all good.
And what?
Oh, no, I was just gonna ask: How into the spooky season are you? How into the spooky spirit are you?
Well, as far as the yearly traditions and celebrations and things that we do here in America, I think Halloween is probably my favoritist. Even though it's happening in the season where it's chilly, but
sure,
I do enjoy the costumes everybody puts on, whether they be. It doesn't matter what they are. I love it all. People kind of letting their inner child out, or their. I keep censoring myself for some reason, but.
I don't know why. But,
I don't know why, but they let their inner naughty schoolgirl out, or their inner cat, or whatever it is. I dig it. I think it's fun. I love it when kids come to the. Not that it happens that often anymore. But when kids do come to the door, regardless of their age, and they have a costume. If you have a costume on, you come to my door on Halloween. I don't care how old you are, you get candy.
Full size?
What the hell do you think I am? Rich?
I'm always reminded of the that little cartoon. It's just a one-panel comic strip. Or maybe it's a 2-panel comic strip where death is at the door of this one woman. And she's like, Doris, I've come. And then she hands him a full-size Snickers. And he's like, full-size Snickers? No, we're good. We're good, Doris. I'll see you later. And death just leaves him like, yeah. Never underestimate the full-size Snicker.
Maybe if I was, a frequent Costco person, or one of those,
Oh, yeah.
What do you call that? Bulk type of shopping? Then sure.
Yeah.
Bulk, because you're getting full size Snickers for 29 cents or whatever it is. So that's different.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
Just as a normal person out there, going to the grocery store, let me go buy this whole box of full size Snickers for the Halloween kids. No, that's never going to happen.
No. Yeah. Hopefully not. Yeah.
Definitely not. Hey, speaking of Halloween, did you see that new Halloween movie?
Dude, I don't look. I love that. I love horror movies exist. I just don't watch horror movies. I love that they exist.
I love that they exist, but I don't watch them.
I'm happy they're out there, but I've seen so few. Like, I've not seen a lot of horror films, and most of them, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know if you can really call them traditional horror, right? Like, I haven't seen any of the traditional horror. I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street. I haven't seen Halloween or Friday the 13th. I've seen Jaws just recently.
Jaws isn't a horror movie.
Horror. It isn't, because I thought it was. I thought it was considered a horror movie in the sense of, like, it's monster horror, right? Like, it's the monstrous, giant, great white shark attacking.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Not in the traditional sense of horror, I guess. I guess I'd go more thriller, I think, in that, or yeah, probably thriller.
I was gonna say, it's not. I know it's not kaiju or anything, but it's it's an animal. So,
it is definitely an animal. That is true.
It's an animal.
Speaking of kaiju, actually, I'm going to go see Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla from, I think it's 79, in theaters next week.
Oh. Ooh, fancy.
I've never seen old school Godzilla in a theater. I can't wait. This is going to be a big old thing of popcorn and soda.
It should be, yeah. No, that sounds like a lot of fun. But let's go back to Halloween. Did you see Halloween Ends?
I was invited to an early screening from our friends over there at Nerds at Geek, because they do actual press stuff where I just attempt to do press stuff. But they had an early screening, and I was due to go to it and took a nap when I got home and woke up after the movie started.
Oh.
So I didn't make it.
Oh.
But here's the weird thing.
Sad.
He told me, I let him know, hey, obviously I'm not going to be there, but, some other time. And then I get on, I turn on the old Xbox there and try to find me something to watch. And I go, let's see what the cock has on for store. And Halloween Ends was on the cock. Mm-hmm. So I was like, why? The theater, it's already here. It's like not even in the theater yet. You can watch it right now. This is weird.
I want to say they released both at the same time, I think, right? It wasn't, or maybe it went out before? Wow, I thought it went out at the same time.
I swear I saw it last two Wednesdays ago, last Wednesday, whenever it premiered. Right. I know it came out on Friday in theaters, but I swear it was available like on Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh no, I know. Well, yeah, no, you're probably right. It's just that's crazy. So you saw it? What'd you think?
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, because I was just like, man, I don't want to watch this on my TV. I want to see this in a theater if I'm going to watch this. And I'm not a big Michael Myers guy. I'm a Jason dude, or I'm a Freddy guy. I love the camp. I love I'm running through the forest and tripped on a leaf. And now I'm getting murdered. I love that kind of thing.
Right.
I'm not into like Saw and all these like psychological ones. I'm into the camp. Just give me camp.
Is Halloween considered like Saw, really?
No. I think it falls under camp, but it's just not the kind of camp I'm into.
Yeah, because at least with Friday the 13th, speaking of camp, you have actual campers.
See what you did there? You haven't even seen the movie, and you made a fucking reference to the movie. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I've seen enough clips of them. No, I did see one. This is going to sound very sad, and you feel free to judge me.
Oh, I do anyway.
Judge me hard for this one, but I saw the one. There's only one. I guess they're Friday the 13th movies. There's only one Friday the 13th movie I ever watched, and it's because I worked at the movie theater at the time, and it was the outer space adventure Jason X.
Yes.
Where
starring ex-porn stars.
Scene. Yeah, where there's a scene where there's a hologram of a campsite, right? That Jason thinks is real, and he tries to kill the girls in the campsite, but it's a hologram, and he's really upset that he can't kill them because they're not real. But that is the one and only Friday the 13th I've seen.
You got to check out
Jason X.
You got to check out Jason versus Freddy
Freddy versus Jason,
or whatever.
Jason versus Freddy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think you're right. I think it's your way. Yeah,
that one is fun as hell, and you don't have it helps. It definitely helps if you'd seen, installments of both movies prior to going into it,
Sure.
but you don't need to.
all I know. Well, look, I know enough I know Freddy's the dream guy.
Mm-hmm. You
and
gotta get stocked
Jason's
up on the
hockey
no
mask guy.
get stocked up on the No-Dos and Red Bulls. Don't want to fall asleep.
And one of his first kills was Johnny Depp in the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
That much I know. That's
And
the extent of my knowledge, though.
Should and rightfully so, being how the character was dressed, and also had not a full size, but like a 12-inch TV with rabbit ears on his lap.
Oh, sure. They had the little. By then, right? They had the little antenna, the TVs where they were like these big kind of. They weren't small, but they were big, kind of rectangular things with a gigantic steel antenna attached to the side of it.
I remember that.
And you had to you had to keep twirling it around to make sure you can get the signal. Oh my god! Oh, I need to find that.
There was once
things.
a buddy of mine. We were driving to Utah overnight, and I was the only one driving because the other two people in the car suddenly just couldn't drive in the middle of the night. I can't see at night, so I drove all night. And pulling into Salt Lake City the next morning, I was struggling to stay awake. And at a pit stop, I had probably one of my very first Red Bulls, and somebody in the car had the little Casio AM/FM TV radio thing, and I duct taped that thing to the dashboard. Found whatever their local, I believe it was a WB affiliate at the time, and it was like 6:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Dennis the Menace, the cartoon, was playing, and I'm just driving, just hoping it's going to keep me awake as I pull into the city and get lost in their weird grid-like maze that is Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Oh, I love Salt Lake City. No, it's great.
But yeah, I definitely remember. Definitely, yeah. Once you understand it, it's easy. But yeah, definitely remember the old Casio portable TV, like I said, AM/FM TV thing. It was cool. It was like a 2-inch, like LCD screen. Yeah, it's Yomelia.
So then,
here with his traditional
yo.
What's up, man? Thanks for coming.
So my question is now then, because we're getting close, we're only a mere 5 days away from Halloween. Are you going to watch a horror movie?
I've watched a few already, or at least horror.
You did already? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how horror it falls under, but definitely the characters in which do fall under horror. But I saw the Corpse Bride for the first time the other day. That was fun. Speaking of Johnny Depp.
I mean,
as I said, it wasn't horror, but it's horror-esque. It's the characters.
Yeah.
Again, not necessarily traditional horror, but I recently rewatched Tremors.
Oh, that's horror. That's horror.
Okay. I'm probably gonna.
That's like Jaws. Yeah, it's that kind of.
Sure. I'll give you that. I'll probably watch a Freddy and a Jason in the next couple days. And probably Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh, listeners would be proud.
I'm a big Ernest fan. You know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when he's selling you, aluminum siding or something when he's on screen.
If you want a good half hour or an hour, I think it is good time. Maybe you're drunk or high or bored out of your mind. I think it's
All
on
right.
Tubi, and if it's not on Tubi, it's on the other one, Pluto. But there is a collection of all of his commercials, back to back to back, no context, nothing, and it goes from him selling, what is it, Squirt, I think Dr. Pepper,
Oh, sure.
Sprite was a big one because Sprite had Lyman. Remember when it had Lyman?
Oh, Lyman. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that? So it's just a collection, and one of them, I believe,
remember Lyman,
is aluminum siding. So it's funny that you mentioned that. But if you want to get time, like I said,
he sold everything.
He did. I mean, that guy maybe wanted to buy things, and I was a kid. So, take that for what you will.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah. What about you? You gonna watch any? Have you, or are you going to watch any? Oh, we just talked about this. How you don't really watch them. So
no, but I mean, like you're doing something soon that's Halloween related. I was invited to do something Halloween related over the weekend, so I'll be probably. I mean, at least I'll be doing that. I have to get a costume actually because there is a not requirement, but it is heavily recommended that I dress up for this event, and I'm like, oh, okay, and like I'm like, all right. Like if I have to, I will. I just don't know what I'm gonna. I have to get something in like the next 4 or 5 days.
well, luckily there's a spirit on every corner of every street.
Yeah, if there's an abandoned building, there's a spirit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If there's an old Toys R Us, there's a spirit.
Oh,
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah. I actually, me and the pretty girl that I hang out with, are gonna go do something Halloweeny tomorrow, and
Very nice.
it was cool because this past weekend she hit me up and she's like, "Are you more of a medium large or a large extra large?" And I was like, "Well, depends. Depends on what you're asking about. But clothing wise, more of a large,
Medium large.
more of a large to be comfortable."
Oh, large.
And I said, "Why do you ask?" She's like, "Oh, because I'm at Spirit and I'm gonna pick up this Bob Ross costume, and I'm gonna be your happy tree." And I was like, "That's awesome!" Like, because we talked about it before about possibly doing that. We just hadn't figured out an event to go to. Last year we both got dressed up and went to IHOP. It was cool. It was a good time.
Yeah.
But not as much fun as, being around a bunch of costumed people instead of people wearing costumes as in their uniform.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. Their costume is they're an IHOP employee.
Yeah.
That's what they're going as for Halloween.
Yeah, but last year that was cool though, because I got out of the car, I was in full Deadpool regalia, and the kids that were inside the restaurant saw me get out of the car, and they were all excited to see me, and I was like, "Oh, I wish I could like monkey flip off the hood of my car or something," but I'm not.
I mean, you could. You just hurt yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely hurt myself. That is true as well. That is true. And then I walked into the restaurant with my mask on, and then they were like, "Whoa, hang on a second."
Yeah.
Like after greeting them, I popped the mask off. I'm like, "I'm not here to rob you. I'm here to eat some pancakes."
Wait, you did this last year?
Mm-hmm.
You could have. I mean, not. You could have claimed COVID and be like, "I need it for COVID."
Yeah, but no stores, especially in Denver, probably other states too, don't really like you coming in on Halloween in full face paint or a full mask.
Face paint, I think they're okay with. I think it's the mask because they can't see your face. Face paint, you can see your face at least. But,
That's true.
Mask, not so much. I do know that some places, not necessarily here, but there are places where instead of costumes, they just do body paint, and so people will walk around in their costume, but really it's just them being naked in body paint.
Yeah, but
well, the body paint isn't in quotation marks.
But you're in California,
real
where
violent.
like the average temperature doesn't ever fall below fucking 65.
Yeah, but I think it's still illegal to go around topless because I think we still do the Free the Nipple campaigns every year still. I
Right.
think. So
Yeah, but
I
does it
believe,
doesn't
unlike
a
New
doesn't a
York,
doesn't a pasty count as coverage?
depends on where you are, I guess.
Because
I
on
guess if you're in
TV,
Hollywood, it counts. But
as long as the nipple is covered, you can show the whole boob, and you can show
you
60 or
you can draw
70,
it.
60 or 70% of an ass.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Twitch allows you as long as your fingers are covering the pokey bits of a woman's boobs. You're fine. I'm pretty sure. It used to be. I remember when Twitch used to be where um, you couldn't wear bikini tops or tank tops, right? Because they didn't want anyone, even men, like men couldn't go around streaming topless. Like you could not show nipple, men or women nipple. Well, now obviously it's changed. Obviously they don't care anymore. But back then they're like,
Right.
oh no. You got to get the parka on. You got to get the pea coat on. You got to make sure you're covered.
Yeah, you can't show any.
Now, obviously.
Well, I guess you got to think about it though. It's being streamed all over the world. Everybody has different
True.
decency laws and whatnot. I don't know. I'm trying to be devil's advocate there, but I'm struggling to even think of the logic behind it.
No, the logic was think of the children. That was the logic. It's like, oh, think of the children because there's no age restriction.
That's true.
On Twitch, so you can be any age and look at any stream, and they're like, well, summer exists, so we'll let the pools, hot tubs, and beaches. I think it's called. I think that's one of the categories. We'll just let that pass. The ladies can just go there and wear their bikini tops and earn money that way.
Maybe we should start wearing bikini tops.
I'm telling you, I'm like, I often think of like, man, how much more publicity would we get if we were like women who wore bikini tops doing this show? If we were women with bikini tops on, like how many more viewers would we have every single night?
Right.
Talking about this stuff. Like,
Probably just as many fans as The Rock has. I don't know. That was that was trying to make a rough transition there. The Rock recently just came out with a new movie, and before we even get into it, because I know Francis did see it, I have not yet. Don't know if I will, but The Rock as a starring role, all those movies not so great. The Rock as a supporting actor, those are solid movies. Most of them. So I don't know.
well, he did the one with what's his name? The guy from I can't even think of the movie where he's from.
Okay.
He was. I think it's called Walk Tall or something, where he had like the plank, like that was like him in the poster was with him with the 2x4, and he's like walking around and like, I'm gonna stop gambling or something. I don't remember.
It's like a new version of The Substitute or something.
Yeah,
The Rock is The Substitute.
Scott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a name I haven't heard of in 10 years.
I saw the one where he was a football player and he had to take care of his daughter. That's when he had hair. I forget the name of that movie.
Oh, yeah, he was a
played
tooth fairy, too.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to say that one where he played a tooth fairy for Disney. So he did a Disney film early on in his career. He was Hobbs of Hobbs and Shaw, which was the spin-off of the Fast and Furious series.
He was in a Fast and Furious with his cousin, who is a current wrestler.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know which one it is, but there's another Samoan that's in the scenes with him, and I guess they fight together or something. I don't really know. But they're cousins they're cousins in real life.
I thought he didn't go by The Rock anymore. I thought he went by Dwayne.
He might be Dwayne Johnson now, but he'll always be The Rock.
He was in Jungle Cruise. Which I'm guessing you didn't see. He was in the remake of the Jumanji movies. So he was in the 2 Jumanji movies.
Oh, that's right.
He was on a TV show called Ballers, which apparently is really good. People really like that show. He was in Rampage. I remember. I watched Rampage. And Skyscraper, where he had he was missing a leg, and he had to jump across a construction crane into a gigantic, massive building. He was in San Andreas when an earthquake rocked California, and he and his hot daughter, oh God, what's her face, the one who gets naked for True Detective, they have to survive an earthquake.
Didn't they already make that movie though? Wasn't it called
Roadblock in G.I. Joe Retaliation?
That's right. Didn't they already make that earthquake movie though? Wasn't it called 2012?
2012 was everyone was dying, and it wasn't just an earthquake; it was everything. Starring John Cusack. It was a good movie. Right. I like that movie.
It was another one of those type of movies though, where it's just let's keep stacking things on top of each other to make the protagonist's job even harder.
Exactly. And then and of course, who can forget? He was in one of his very first television roles, because he was in that '70s show first, but he also had a guest appearance as the champion in Star Trek Voyager. So there you go. He even has a sci-fi credit to go to his name.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh, and he's the Scorpion King.
He is the Scorpion King. How was he as Black Adam?
Well, I had to look it up. Hi, Ginger, by the way.
Oh.
We're doing well. So thank you very much for asking. We're doing all right. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going all right with you. But yes, and if you Ginger are a fan of The Rock, you may enjoy Black Adam, because it has despite having a 39% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, they have a 90% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. I thought the movie was loud.
But then, did you not say it was really loud in parts, and then parts that should have been loud, it wasn't loud at all?
So Pierce Brosnan, who plays Dr. Fate, who he's really good. I love him as Dr. Fate. Actually.
Dr. Fate's one of my favorite looking DC characters. I don't know much about awesome. Dr. Fate, but he looks badass.
Dr. Fate is Doctor Strange, essentially. He's the DC Doctor Strange. That's all he is. But he can see into the future. Oh, but Doctor Strange can see into the future too. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He looks great. The costume looks great. The helmet looks great. He's great. But because of his British accent, he talks softly too, because he's 70 years old or something. He's old. He's no longer 007. He's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy,
he's point was he 007.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's no longer 007. He's 070, because he's old. He's 70 now, right? But anyway, that was terrible. But and I forgot that. Oh, it's so weird to see Sasha Grey on Twitch. Anyway, we're competing with former porn star Sasha Grey right now.
Oh, well, then we're gonna lose that one, because I don't want to. No, I'll not say it. Go ahead.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It's fine. It's by the books. kind of doesn't make any sense. A typical DC action movie, right? It's a DC superhero movie. It makes zero sense. Today it was announced that Tim Gunn. No, Tim Gunn. No, not Tim Gunn. That's the James Gunn. Is it James Gunn?
Yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. Because Tim Gunn's the fashion guy. James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, has been hired as the co-president or something, or co-something of DC. So now he's in charge of DC movies.
He's the Kevin Feige of DC.
He's essentially, him and some other dude who I don't know are the two co-chairs of DC Entertainment. So they are going to now run the movies of DC, which is good. Because the only movies anyone likes are the movies that James Gunn made, which was Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. Like, that's all anyone really likes anyway. 70's not old, but for Pierce Brosnan it is all I'm saying. 70's not old. That's fairly, that's prime of your life right there. But for Pierce Brosnan, it just made him talk softer. He doesn't have the same kind of rambunctious energy that he had when he was playing James Bond. That's all I'm saying, Ginger. That's all I'm saying.
I was like, you dug your own hole on that one. I was gonna let you climb out on your own.
But look, I don't know. People like it. A lot of people love it. A lot of people are really excited about it. People love The Rock. The Rock was super excited. He kept announcing like 90% of audiences love my movie. Right, and it's like cool, but it's. When you go, you've seen it before. Like, when you watch the movie, you're like, okay, I've seen this already. And The Rock is like, okay, fine. Charismatic guy, but he's really one note in this movie, so I'm like, whatever. And then you get the special cameo that everyone knows about. The worst kept secret in Hollywood is the cameo in the mid-credits that I won't say in case you somehow miraculously avoided that.
You could tell me after we turn this off, you could tell me.
Yeah,
because I'm one of those people that miraculously has not seen the spoil.
Okay, all right. So there's So
I'll let you spill your spoilage all over me afterward here.
Yeah. I'm more than happy to, because it's fun. But yeah, like it's fine. It's fine. So if you're into a fine, by the books, messy. Doesn't make sense, but you don't really care because there's a lot of punchy, kicky, lasery stuff going on, then that's the movie. Then Black Adam is the movie for you.
Well, maybe I'll have to check it out. I'm not too super excited. There has been a DC movie that I've been excited about since Batman, like the Christopher Nolan Batmans. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see, but maybe I'll go check it out. Since we're talking about
streaming or something,
yeah, well, yeah, of course. Since we're talking about movies, did you happen to see the Antman trailer?
Do you care about Antman and the Wasp?
I think it's really cool that Josh still looks like Josh, and even though that was 30 something odd years ago. It's crazy that Josh is the fucking savior of the fucking MCU.
Yeah, he is.
I'm making a deep cut reference there. Go watch Clueless. And
I was gonna say, I'm assuming that's the name he had in Clueless. I was like, there's only one movie I can think of that. Yeah, it's Clueless. Yeah. Clueless.
But yeah, Am I super excited of Ant-Man as a character? Not super excited, no. But I think Paul Rudd is pretty funny, and this movie, even though it's a short little teaser that we got, I think this one, has some potential to definitely be a game changer in this next phase that we're getting into. Because you are getting...
I will watch anything Paul Rudd is in.
And we're getting a worse version of Kang the Conqueror in this one, so I'm all for it.
It's funny. Oh, right, right. What do you mean worst version? What do you mean by that?
So if you remember the Loki miniseries, what was
Oh yeah, yeah.
that version of Kang? What was he called? The one that
He
shouldn't
was the one
that
above all or
who
something.
doesn't have a name or shouldn't be mentioned or something like that.
Yeah, right.
He mentioned several times that, yeah, you take me out, but there's other ones that are worse than me. So I think, and it's been heavily speculated, and now I think pretty thrown out there that Kang is going to be the big bad of late Phase 4 or all of Phase 5.
Well, yeah. There's an Avenger movie called something
King
King
the
something.
Conqueror, I think.
Is it King the Rock?
I think it
Yeah,
is.
I don't remember. Yeah. So, yeah. There's already talks. I mean, he's already the big bad. Like he is officially
Mhm.
like the big bad of Phase 5 and 6. So that's fine. Yeah, no, I saw it. I like it. I thought it was. I love that Marvel knows what to do with music better than DC does,
Mm-hmm.
like by a long shot. Because DC. So another thing about Black Adam, real quick, is that they still try to do the whole like we're gonna play popular music
Mm.
to our movies, and it's like you pick all the wrong songs. They picked butter Bullets with Butterfly Wings, the Smashing Pumpkins song as like their intro song to Black Adam, and I'm like, no, that's bad. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do
I,
that. That's terrible.
as far as music in the MCU goes, my favorite's been Guardians of the Galaxy, where the music that you hear
Yeah.
in that movie is actually happening in the scene because it's coming out of a
Yeah.
speaker. It's coming out of somebody's headphones. It's not a score.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They you hear the music that you hear it because they're playing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I know that's not a fourth wall thing, but there's a name for it. I don't know what it is, but it is kind of a fourth wall thing for me.
Sort of, right? Yeah, because it sets the mood without being like overly obvious
Mm-hmm.
about it. Like, okay, right? Because that first song, when you meet Star Lord, he's listening to it in his headphones. We
Mm-hmm.
just happen to be able to hear it while he's doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Yellow Brick Road, great, love it, love that they used that song
Mm-hmm.
for the Ant-Man trailer.
Well, the MCU's
Yeah, no,
the
it was
MCU
great.
has had a lot of Wizard of Oz references for many a movie now. There's
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
I'm not saying that they're outright making references, but there's been a lot of at least nods to the Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm. No, sure.
You know what?
How
Even
can
in
you
that
not?
Loki
Wizard
show,
of Oz.
you know, Kang was using those 3 mutant things with the gigantic heads, even though they were just puppets. He was behind the curtain
Yeah.
the whole time.
He was the wizard.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. No, yeah. So I'm into it. I'm looking forward to it.
I think we're going to get a lot
You know.
more introduction to Young Avengers. I think that's
Oh well, yeah.
if they haven't announced it, which they may have, but if they haven't, they are heavily leaning towards it.
Well, with Miss Marvel, I don't know what Cassie, who's the daughter
Ant-Man's,
in Ant-Man.
yeah.
I don't know what her character's name is, like her superhero character name is.
Right.
But she's in a suit at the end of the trailer, so obviously she has powers. Riri Williams, right? We'll have her as Ironheart. Oh, we already have we already have the new Arrow guy, not Bullseye, Hawkeye. We already have the new Hawkeye with what's her face, Haley Atwell or Haley Steinfeld. Sorry.
Right, and that's his daughter in the show, right? Or
No.
no, okay.
Haley Steinfeld in Hawkeye is just a girl that he met.
No.
His
His daughter.
happens to be an archer.
He's teaching his daughter how to be an
Oh.
archer. I think isn't that character supposed to be the next fucking
No.
Okay.
No, they didn't go with that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
they ended up going with just a stranger. Yeah. So yeah.
Stinger is her name in the comics.
Stinger. Oh, that's a terrible name.
Hey man, I'm just reporting what I read, man.
I know. I just said you have Antman, you have Wasp, and then you have Stinger. All right. They couldn't give her like Yellow Jacket, which is already taken. I know that was the villain in the first movie, but they could have given her like Hornet or like
Bumblebee.
I don't know, Bumblebee. Yeah, Bumblebee. Yeah, whatever. Who cares if it's a Transformer? Bumblebee's great. Or a tuna. Who cares? She could be tuna. Does anyone know what Bumblebee tuna is? Maybe not.
Points.
But yeah.
Your balls are showing.
Whatever. But but you're gonna be so many other. But there's so many other stingy fly bugs.
Sure.
He's not even a stingy bug. He's an ant. You could have had her be like Scorpion Girl or like
Scorpion King. I mean Queen.
Scorpion Queen. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scorpion Queen or anything. Anyway. Stinger. That's fine. Go Young Avengers.
Yes. Something that didn't sting you this morning, Francis. When you woke up this morning and turned your old computer on and you saw that the Kickstarter that just started a day or two ago for the new anthology book that you're a part of. Last you looked, I think it was at 97 or 98% funded. That's pretty awesome. I think this is the commercial time for you.
Yeah, look, if you're interested, oh my God. So as of right now, we had a goal. We have a Kickstarter for a new anthology book that I was very fortunate and very honored to contribute to. Called Tales of Monstrosity, and I know Josh hates this part: Monsters, Myths, and Miscreants, because there's too many M's.
There's too many M's.
I think we mentioned that the last week when I made the tiny URL for that, but tinyurl.com/monster tales TALES if you want to contribute. Today's the first day. Technically it's the second day, I guess. I guess it was started like 2 days ago, but yeah, we're on our second day. We hit our pledge of we only wanted $500, which shows how much faith we had in our community to like contribute money to. It was like, just give us a 20, we're fine. Like,
right?
Like it's pretty much what we're asking from a community is like, and we're 20 authors with like our own pocket communities, and we didn't think our pocket communities were going to contribute anything. And we've already hit that 500. We're at $733.
Holy shit!
US,
dude. Yeah. Like that just happened.
It just happened.
That just happened because before we hit record, like you were at 97, 98%. Like we were just talking about it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we have hit our goal. We are ahead, which means that I think we're doing stretch goals now. So I think we're in stretch goals category. We haven't done anything yet because I don't think. But
that was
needed.
super
exciting.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting. To we didn't do this the last time. This wasn't our method of distributing a book the last time. We just put it out there for people to download and listen to, and not listen
or
to,
purchase,
but purchase. Yeah, you just went to Amazon, looked up Dragons of a Different Tale, and then there you go. You found the book and you read it, and we had a few people read it, and whatever. Like it wasn't it was for us it was a hit because we didn't think anyone was going to read it, so we were happy that anyone picked up that book. And now it looks like people are interested in this new one. People like monsters more than like dragons, I guess. I don't know, but
and mischiefs and miscrits or whatever
and miscreants, monsters, myths, and miscreants. It's bad. But if I had my choice, it was going to be a different. It was going to be it was going to be monsters of a different scale, because I wanted that theme of like, oh, we did
Yeah,
monsters of dragons of a different tale.
yeah.
Let's do
There's
monsters of a different scale.
there's synergy there.
Yeah, but they're like, no, we're gonna do something, this other thing. I'm like, all right, that's cool. It's not. I'm not the publisher, and it's not my book. I'm just tossing in a story that I happen to write. So yeah, look, guys, anyone who's listening now or later, just go to tinyurl.com/monster tales TALES and contribute. Get you'll get the ebook early. I think we're not even expected to go wide to the general public till sometime next year. So if you're interested at all to get to read what we have to offer, we have 20 amazing authors. All of them I can vouch for are good at what they do. I'm just a second time author. Everyone else has written stuff regularly. Like people have these are all published authors except for me. I'm the only one who's
You
not
are a
published
published author.
Well, now I am with the one thing,
Yes.
but I don't have my own book. Everyone has their own book.
Okay.
Everyone has their own series, is what I'm trying to say. Like everyone has their own established universe. I'm just some dude who's kind of like come in and be like, "Hey, man, hey, let me just,
I think your title sucks. How about this one?
I did that already, and
No, I know that's what I was saying. That you just got invited to the group chat, and you heard that. You're like, well, what about this?
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Yeah, they muted me immediately once I got to. They're like, no, that's okay. Don't let this one talk. And I think I'm contributing to some of. I don't know if we kind of joked about it on SGU, but one of the perks or one of the things that happened. I don't know if this is actually happening because I don't know if it was a joke or not. They made it seem serious, like it was going to really happen. But I'm supposed to do like for whoever was the first person to contribute to the Kickstarter. I'm supposed to do their voicemail do an impersonation and do their voicemail, like they do on NPR. They had the wait, don't tell me. They have like news people do like the voicemail of the listeners. So I don't know if I'm actually doing that. It'd be kind of funny if I did, but
because that's
we'll
like
do more on the stretch goals.
I mean, that's something you pay like $40 at a Comic-Con for some celebrity that you're into to do the voicemail of your phone.
Yeah.
Like have
Yeah.
fucking Trevor from GTA do the voicemail of your phone, which would be hilarious.
No, that'd be really funny. Yeah, no, it's, I don't know. There is a pledge level where you get to talk to all the authors. I'm curious if anyone got that one, but so there you go. Go check it out. It'd be really cool if you contributed. The more that if we can get it high enough, I'm thinking we were doing audiobooks and we're going to be able to do a nice cover for the paperback, maybe even do hardbacks. I don't know, but we're really trying to put ourselves out there and do something really cool, and we're going to do this yearly. Like we're going to be putting out a book yearly, as far as I understand it. So like next year we're going to have a new book to go out there, and this helps. This ensures that we get to do it. So anyway, and if you did contribute, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah.
If what?
Sorry. If Lee ever shows up and listens to this, I know she contributed. So thank you, Lee, for contributing
awesome.
to the Kickstarter. I was already told about it, and I have to sign her book. So I'll sign your book too. If you do the Kickstarter, I'll sign your book. I don't care.
Send a self-addressed envelope.
If you want the value of the book to.
If
you want the value of the book to go down, let me know.
Well, no. What you do is, I'll sign your book, but you have to send a self-addressed stamped envelope, or prepackaged thing to whatever address you have everything sent to. So everybody that's sending you things pays for the packaging. Right? You're just signing things and then putting it back.
You have to pay for the. Yeah, you have to pay for the shipping and handling.
Yeah. That shit. Every time I saw that as a kid, I was like, "You cheap bastards!" Like
Yeah, it's like,
how
hey,
many
you
how
want
many
this cool thing?
yeah, how many of these are you getting? You know,
Yeah. It's like, come on now.
you can't.
But no, you want this cool thing. All you have to do is pay shipping and handling. It's like, yeah. I don't know how much I want this cool thing anymore.
Right? Yeah, sounds a lot of fun until you get those 15 CDs and it costs you fucking $30 for some reason. Like,
Oh
wait,
man,
there's a penny.
I was a Columbia House member. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a Columbia House member. I know. I know.
What a great scam that was.
I got the 15 CDs for $1, and then you were stuck getting CDs for a year.
And getting overcharged
for, like,
for
$30
every
a pop.
Yeah. How much a pop?
I don't think it was $30 a pop, but I'm just saying it was definitely more than it was worth.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Kind of like, Francis, something that isn't really worth the money you pay for it, which you can say a lot of things about this establishment, but this yearly thing that comes around called the McRib.
Oh yeah.
I hear, or McDonald's has announced, that this is going to be its farewell tour, at least for the time being. That they're not going to bring it back next year. Which I've never had a McRib. I've actually seen them get prepared before, and that was enough for me to not ever want one.
So you've never had one?
I never have had a McRib. I've had many
want a
others
McRib.
of the, discontinued, defunct McDonald's items. I've had many of those, but I've never had a McRib.
How interested are you in trying the now going away McRib?
Not at all. Like I said, I've seen them
Not even a
prepared.
little bit.
I saw them get prepared, and that was enough for me.
Well, it's a frozen rib-shaped.
Yeah, and it's just it sits in sauce. It's just no.
Yeah, it's frozen too.
I don't like pork that much anyway. Pork, in quotation marks.
No, that's true. It's really just like it's reconstituted chicken nuggets, and they just put it. Like, what are you gonna do with
to go off on a slight tangent, but that's what podcasts are. When you go to the Chick-fil-A and you get the breakfast, you get the chicken minis. You ever get the chicken minis? I'm always like, what a ripoff. These are just old nuggets. And they're just like, well, we don't know what to do with them, so let's just put them in these little muffins that we got.
I mean, they're still good though. I'm not gonna lie. They're still pretty.
No,
good.
they're not bad.
Even though they're old. Yeah.
It's a salty little piece of chicken. You can't really go bad with it. As long as it's fairly warm, you're good to go.
It's like we got some extra nuggets from last night. What do we do with them? Don't worry about it. They'll get it for breakfast.
Exactly.
We got this.
And it up until they start, you get the app and you get the free points. Up until then, I'd never willfully purchased those because that's how I felt. I was like, these are just last night's nuggets. I don't want something that's
better
from,
that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. Look, it's better that than having them, form it into the shape of a pork rib and pretend it's pork.
That is true. No, pretend it's a rib with bones.
Yeah, I never understood that. It's like, why are you forming it as if there's bones in this meat? It's boneless meat.
Yeah, there's just something about it. It's never looked appetizing to me. I mean, not that a lot of things at McDonald's look appetizing. I understand that. But the McRib, no. Just never appealed to me. It was no fucking Arch Deluxe.
Oh, yeah.
But what is the
funny?
Arch Deluxe? A Big Mac without the center bun and bacon.
And a Big and Tasty, which was my burger of choice, and I liked it for one reason and one reason only, and everyone's gonna hate this. But McDonald's puts mayonnaise on two things: the McChicken sandwich and the Big and Tasty. So that's why I liked it, because it was ketchup and mayonnaise. on the Big and Tasty,
The Big and
which they don't
Tasty,
do for any other sandwich.
the Big and Tasty also, Francis, was only available at night.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I don't remember.
It was an
'cause
evening. It
it's
was an
been at least a
evening.
couple decades.
It's an evening menu item for some reason. I don't understand that one.
Same reason why they got. They used to have all day breakfast, and then they got rid of that for some reason.
I do remember that.
I don't know
That
why.
wasn't all that long ago that they got rid of it.
No, it's like, why? People like breakfast all day. Like, just keep it. It doesn't hurt you to leave frozen bits of meat and frozen buns somewhere that they'll defrost for the guy who's like, hey, I want a egg McMuffin for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt you, McDonald's. Just do it.
As I said before, I'd seen how how a McRib was prepared. I have seen how they do the eggs. It only takes a couple minutes for them to reconstitute, the folded egg back into, making it look like an egg.
And just add water, and then there you go. You have your fluffy eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would look as a person who actually thinks that the McRib isn't all that great. I think it's worth having at least once. So try it during the farewell tour. At least try one,
Perhaps.
or at least steal a bite from someone else. If you don't want to have
this is
like a whole one.
We are living in pandemic times. I haven't shared food with anybody. What are you talking about?
Really? Wow. Okay.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I've shared food. Yeah. No. I'm more bold though. I mean, I'm the kind of person who not anymore. I haven't done this in years, but when I was younger, I was the kind of person who'd like, oh, I dropped it, 5-second rule, pick it up, eat it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for that, but yeah.
That's even worse though.
Meh.
That's so much worse. Oh man.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Oh man.
But
All right.
what other McDonald's items that they don't have anymore do you miss, or do you miss any?
Well, other than the Big and Tasty, which I really do actually miss, they're trying to do it now with like the quarter pounder. They put lettuce and tomato on the quarter pounder. But
Yeah,
that's not the same.
I think they call it the deluxe quarter pounder.
Something like that. Yeah.
Did you ever
It's like, not the same
see
thing. Stop it.
the Grand Mac?
Yes.
I can't remember if it was the
They had the
Grand
mini-
or the Grand. I can't remember how it was pronounced, but it was an extra large Big Mac.
I don't know either, but that's when they had 3 sizes of Big Mac. They had the small Big Mac, they had
Yes.
the regular one, and then they had the grand one.
I remember
Yeah.
that now. I wasn't eating McDonald's at that time, but I do remember that.
And I always got the small one. I'm like, this is great. I don't want a the Big Mac isn't that big. They use pretty small patties for it, but it didn't matter. It's like, get the smaller one and whatever. And I would always get the smaller one. It was great. Oh man, that I miss. Bring that back. bring that stuff back.
So you were talking about this on Twitter, and you mentioned
Yes.
the Big and Tasty, and I hit you with the onion nugs.
Which I've never had. Yeah,
I never had them either. I remembered them. I remember seeing them, but I never had them. We didn't have a lot of.
Right.
I didn't get to have a lot of McDonald's as a young person, right? But I got to see the menu whenever I was there. I remember seeing them on there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've had a few Happy Meals in my time as a kid.
So they
I've
just
had
came
that.
out with the adult Happy Meals in the last few weeks I saw.
Oh,
And
how did we not talk about that?
I know. Well, I don't know. I try not to talk about McDonald's. But I saw they have the adult Happy Meals, and they have toys with them. And I noticed that one of the toys was Grimace, one of my favorite of the McDonald mascots. But then I looked at this Grimace, and not only does it have 4 eyes, which doesn't make any sense to me, it also looks like a big purple butt plug.
Oh, I'm looking at it now because I didn't know what they were giving away with the adult ones.
Yeah.
But you know what though? They have all of the characters have 4 eyes.
Yeah, it's
Apparently,
Grimace. I think it the chicken nugget girl.
the chicken nugget girl and the Hamburglar
Hamburglar.
and I don't know what the fourth one is. It looks like just a mascot, like it's like a squiggly smiley face.
Isn't it supposed to be a fry guy? Or are you looking at I can't remember. There's Grimace, the chicken nugget girl, Hamburglar, and there's a fourth one.
Let's see.
And I don't want to look it up because I'll fuck everything up.
No, I don't know. I'm looking at an article from Forbes. The 4 unexpected surprises in adult Happy Meals. McSpoiled adults outnumber youthful employees. Oh God. Hold on, let me see if I can find a better article than this.
Okay.
This is a
Well,
article.
you know,
Forbes, you suck.
sometimes you miss these things. You think that you miss them a lot. You go get them, and then you get a mixed stomach ache, which might lead to the mixed shits.
So, you're right. The adult Happy Meal. I guess they're not doing it anymore, right? It was really limited. They're not doing it anymore. I'm assuming. So let's say you were fortunate enough to get an adult Happy Meal, and you have one of the toys. Apparently, the other one was the Cactus Buddy. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't sticking to my mind.
It was Grimace, Hamburglar, Birdie, and then Cactus Buddy. Now, let's say you didn't take it out of the plastic. It's an unopened toy. How much do you think you could sell one for?
Double digits.
Double digits. Pretty good guess. Double digits, get maybe $10 for it, $50.
I'm
Cactus
thinking
Buddy.
no, I'm thinking like 10,000. Double digits.
How's
Dude,
that double
toys.
digits?
Toys.
That's 5 digits.
Okay. Well, fucking toys can have some fucking crazy value to some crazy people out there.
True. So you say $10,000 for an unopened toy.
Sure.
Okay. Well, if you happen to have $300,000, you can get the Cactus Buddy on eBay, which is what it's currently selling for.
Obviously,
the other toys.
The Cactus Buddy's going to be the short pack out of that group.
Apparently. If you want an unopened Happy Meal toy from the other ones, well, you expect to pay about $25,000.
My God.
Some of them are at a steal. Some of them are at a steal though, for $2,400. If you want to get it that way.
Wow, that's crazy. Being an avid toy collector for as long as I was, I don't remember ever there being any kind of a toy that skyrocketed that quickly.
Beanie Baby.
They didn't skyrocket like that. That was a slow burn.
No, that's true.
The boom was huge, but the long term return of investment, that was a slow burn.
I'll give you one, and it's McDonald's related. The Szechuan sauce.
Szechuan sauce
from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, they did bring that back when Rick and Morty hit season 3. Yeah, McDonald's brought back the Szechuan sauce. That was cool for, that all happened when McDonald's wasn't going into my body unless it was breakfast. So I missed that on the Szechuan. What about mixed spaghetti? Did you even know that they did spaghetti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah. I think the mixed spaghetti. Well, because the mixed spaghetti is still done in the Philippines because they're big on spaghetti there. So the mixed spaghetti still exists. But yeah, I guess the American version doesn't exist.
The Mc hot dog. Sure. Didn't you say something about the big hot dog?
I mentioned the Mc hot dog and the Mc hot dog and the Mc pizza were the two I mentioned alongside the big and tasty.
Do you
Yes.
recall the shake salads
I do. Yeah.
where they were like in
I
a big
remember. I remember the ad for the shake salad.
they were like in a big plastic cup and you poured the ranch in them, you put the lid on it, you shook it like a Polaroid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I realize now, having had a regular salad since then, is that is the best way to get the appropriate distribution of salad dressing and salad. Is you close the case and you shake,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you shake, you open it up. It's like evenly distributed amongst all of your leaves and your whatever else is in there. It's like,
Right.
oh, perfect. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm down.
I'm trying to think of some other things that they had on there. Let's see, they had the crispy chicken sandwich now, still, but I used to have them put bacon on that.
They
shit.
do. Yeah.
Bacon and
They used to have
cheese.
bacon and cheese. Yes.
Like that has to go on a
Yes,
chicken.
yeah.
That has to go on a chicken sandwich. What the hell?
They also had for a while the spicy versions of their chicken nuggets and spicy versions of their chicken sandwiches. They don't do that so much anymore.
Yeah, no, because their spicy nuggets sucked in comparison to Wendy's, which aren't even that good anyway.
No. No. They used to have I think I want to say that
Well, here, while you're kind of searching that, think about this one for a second. There's people out there, there's kids out there that don't even know what supersize is. Think about that. Let that sink in for a second.
there was 5 years, I would say,
Of supersizing?
Supersize?
I think so. That's
Maybe
a
10?
it's a nice round number, but it may have been more than that.
Between 5 and 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'll say between 5 and 10 there was that, yeah.
You
There's
got
a whole movie about it too.
kids, small, medium, large, bucket.
Or
Or
bucket was supersized.
yeah. Kids, small, medium, large, diabetes.
Supersize was like a 64-ounce drink or something like that. Like
Mhm.
it was huge. It was freaking huge.
You definitely needed to two-hand that thing.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
it
it wasn't
didn't-
gonna fit in your cup.
Yeah,
holder.
it didn't fit in any cup. They made cup holders specifically for larger, capacity, cups.
I remember they used to make these cup holders that you would put on your roll down, because you have to roll the window down this way, turn the knob,
Yes.
right? But there was like a gap between the window and the door, and you would slip this thing in that was a cup holder
Mm-hmm.
that it would have like different sizes to it, and it would be on the door versus like in the middle where it is now in modern vehicles. It's just there. That's what your cup holder was, and you put your gigantic drink there.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man. Kids. I hope kids of this generation get a car where they have to roll the window down. Like they have to know what it's like to roll the window down.
I hope a kid gets a car that has a hand crank engine.
Well, okay, maybe not that. I mean,
Yeah, like some French car from the fucking 70s or something that didn't have an electric starter. For some reason, the French were still using hand crank engines in the 70s.
but I mean, why not, right? Maybe not the hand cranking of the engine, but like I want someone to know that feeling of when you needed to go. Because, for instance, here, certain in and outs here have the speaker and the window on the passenger side of your car. So when you go and get your food, it's on the passenger side.
Yeah.
No big deal when you got the automatic windows. Bzz, gotcha. But then when you go up with your roller windows, you gotta lean over.
You got to make the motion.
You gotta make the motion. You gotta roll it down. And your arms all tired because it's all outstretched and turning. Like, okay,
You might have rolled into the car in front of you because your foot had to come off the brake a bit to lean across the car. Yeah.
exactly. And of course, you're driving a stick, so you already stalled your car twice because you're trying. and your foot just keeps slipping off the clutch. It's like, oh god, I'm gonna get this done. You know.
Well, I
A
mean
kid
that
should experience that.
that right there. I mean, you just said. I mean, that's how I know my car will never get stolen, because it's a stick.
Oh, it's funny. I was just yeah. Again, our synergy is because I was going to mention it's the perfect deterrent from getting a car stolen is get a stick, and yeah, they don't sell. I had to get a rental car recently. They don't. There's nothing on stick anymore. And all modern cars, all 2022, 23 cars, I don't think, unless it's a sports car, none of them are stick. They're all automatic.
They're definitely starting to lean that way for sure, or it's become that the sport shift where it's still paddle. I love paddle shifts, but the thing about them is that I mean they're for paddle shifts were originally on race cars, and they're for a different style of transmission than what's in a road going car. So when they dive into a corner and they hit the downshift paddle 4 times, it shifts 4 times. In road going cars, if you were to dive in the corner and hit the thing 4 times to get down into second gear, it'll eventually get into second gear. You know, so it's still an automatic. You're telling it what to do, but this automatic transmission's still like, well, hang on a second. I'm not ready to shift into that lower gear yet. But no, a lot of cars are going more automatic sport shift, you know, whatever it is. And that, like I said, that's why I know I'll never have my car stolen. I should probably knock on wood or something, but nobody's going to want to steal my fucking 06 Mazda with a fucking cracked windshield. So
no. Well, yeah. And yeah, no one's going to know how to get it out of first gear. You know,
right?
Or out of neutral, really, because just we're like, what do I do with the stick? I don't understand where this goes. Because now, yeah, look, I was in a car once where yes, it's a push button start, and you push the button for drive, like it's a button. There's no stick. There's nothing. You just push the button and it goes to drive. You push the button, it goes to reverse. It's like,
oh, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
It was just buttons.
There was I watched a video recently of a guy driving a semi-truck, an over-the-road semi-truck. It was automatic, which isn't a huge, you know, there's nothing surprising about that. But the drive selector, was on the steering column opposite of the turn signals.
Oh yeah, I've been.
So it was the right hand side of the steering wheel, and it was a rotating switch to go from drive, reverse, and park. And I was just like, that is insane to me to think that this, you know, I don't know how many tons an 18-wheeler is, but a lot of ton vehicles controlled by just a stock switch.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's no. Yeah. Let me grab this handle and throw it into drive. No, it's just a little stalk hanging off the steering column with a little rotating switch on it, like you're adjusting the mist setting on your wipers.
Well, look, everyone has. Well, I'm curious because everyone I think has, to some degree, especially older individuals like us, not like 20-somethings. But we have a classic car, usually in our heads, that is our dream car, right? Like we want a classic car as our dream car. What is your dream classic car?
Francis, my friend, I haven't owned the exact one I wanted, but I owned one in the family of cars that I wanted to always have.
Does that count?
Yes, because I still wanted this car. I just wanted the souped up version as well. You recall the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yes.
Okay, that was a 1968, 1969 Dodge Charger or Challenger. I had a 72 Charger, which original paint was that Dukes of Hazzard burnt orange. The and it was the very first car I ever owned, and it was awesome. It ran like shit, needed lots of work, couldn't afford it, but it was everything I wanted in a first car experience, where it was a classic car. It had two cables, negative and positive, and it's simple enough to work on, where I didn't need to have a computer, go to Checkers like I Checkers. When am I going to start calling them what they are? O'Reilly's. They'll always be Checkers to me.
No.
But like I just had to go, my check engine light came on my car the other day, and I had to go and get, get it tested on a code reader to figure out what was wrong, instead of just popping the hood and being like, oh, well, your carburetor's full of gunk. Let's clean it. Ginger says
you were fine with your.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Good.
I was gonna say, Ginger said when she was a kid, they had a Chrysler Imperial, all push button drive.
Oh God, there you go.
But there were some wild designs for cars, all through the 60s and 70s, and then the 50s as well. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. It's the classic KGB Russian car. Like, go back and watch Rocky IV, right? I don't know what the manufacturer or the name of the car is, but it's just the classic KGB car. That thing had these buttons. I'm showing Francis on the screen. They were like 2-inch, 3-inch buttons that you would push for, reverse, neutral, drive, whatever the hell. It was like, it was like selectors of like an old cigarette vending machine. It's like, okay, I'm going to select this one now. Need 30 pounds of force to push the button in.
Oh, well, of course. Like, there wasn't power. Look, back in the day, like 1980s or something, there wasn't power steering. There wasn't any of this stuff that helped you drive.
Sure.
And you had to put your muscles into it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like the cars that are out now, you mentioned power steering, power brakes, and everybody just goes, you mean steering and stopping?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
yes, but that's power assisted. Back in my day, when you tried to turn the wheel from a standstill, it was heavy as hell.
It's why I like my Mini so much, because even though it has power steering, it's not as assisted. You have to put some pressure into it. I had to rent a Kia Soul, the one that the hamsters would drive in those old Kia commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And I, with a finger, I could turn the wheel. Like I didn't have to have my hands on it. With a finger, I could go like, all right, I'm turning the wheel. Okay, I'm gonna turn it the other way. Like no effort whatsoever. It was just like the lightest of touch. Where on my Mini, and I had to rent the car for a couple weeks. So when I got back to my Mini, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. When you want to turn, you have to want to turn.
Right.
Like you have to want to make the turn.
You're like, let me get over in this lane next to me. You've been driving that other car for 3 weeks. You're like, oh fuck, I really need to turn this car.
Exactly. It was effort. So, I think my favorite. This isn't my dream car, but my favorite car that I had seen, because I hadn't seen it very often, is when the stick shift is on the column.
Three
on a Ford Falcon.
3 on the tree is what they called that.
Mm-hmm.
3.
It was a 3. Yep.
A buddy of mine, the guy that I was an apprentice for, he bought a Nova. I don't remember the year Nova, but he bought a Nova and it had 3 on the tree.
Wow, yeah.
And he was like, Josh, can you drive this home? And I was like, sure, as long as they show me like how the gears work. Like I'm pretty confident in my skills. I've never driven a car like that before, and we ended up towing it, so I never did. But it's one of the only transmissions I've not used before. That and a semi truck.
Yeah, I didn't use it. It was the girl I was dating at the time was driving that car, and I'm like, wow. I was really impressed. I was like, oh man, I've never seen this before. She's like, yeah, it's a Ford Falcon. I'm like, I've never heard of the Ford Falcon. This is a crazy car. Like it was great. It looked classic, right? It looked old.
Oh yeah.
It was a small car, and it had as you said, the three on the tree, as you said, I think, right? So yeah.
Our friend Katie, when I first met her, she had a Ford Fairlane, like a '67 Ford Fairlane. And I'm like, you just got like 10 extra points for being cool for driving a classic car on top of that. Like, you're awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what value classic cars have to the current kind of like zeitgeist of cars.
Not unless they got
I
20s
think it's
on
not
them.
very important anymore. Yeah, I was gonna say like, we used to really covet classic cars, and I know there's still car shows and stuff that happen locally, and like people with their Impalas and all that stuff coming by, and you know, of course it's California, so everyone's got hydraulics, so it's hopping everywhere and all that stuff. But yeah, I think nowadays there's the expectation. A classic car nowadays is like a 1985 Buick,
25 years. 25 years constitutes classic, whatever.
So literally a 1998, whatever could be considered a classic car, which a 1998 Astrovan or something.
Right.
I'll
Fucking
a classic car.
A Geo Metro.
A Geo Metro, exactly. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Or a Ford Escort from the late 90s is now considered a classic car.
Or like the original Eagle Talon.
God.
The original Eagle. Look that up. That is one of the most ugliest cars ever created.
I don't know. PT Cruiser wants to have a word with you.
The PT Buster, as I've always called it. Yeah, not a very good looking car. Chrysler hasn't made a good looking car in fucking 50 years. So,
who did the Viper?
Dodge,
which was like had its own show.
Dodge.
Was it Dodge? It was
yeah,
Dodge.
I mean,
because that had a show.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and
they're all the same.
Is Mopar? There's one other group in there. Is known as Plymouth. That's all known as Mopar. I don't remember what it stood for, Mopar. But
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Charger, the Challenger, the Barracuda, all basically the same
Barracuda.
car. Oh, So to answer your question from before, a Barracuda, a lime green Barracuda AAR is my favoriteest car ever. Again, don't remember. It's AAR or AAC. I can't remember which one off the top of my head because I haven't even thought about this in forever. But yeah, lime. There's a Dodge or Mopar lime green that's like the loudest almost fluorescent type green for the 70s. And I'm like, yes, give me one of those.
Mopar stands for, it's a portmanteau of motor parts, or Mopar.
Well, yeah,
which is
Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth, and something else.
Yeah, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler. Yeah,
I always forget Jeep is cool. Mopar. Yeah,
Mopar. Yep.
So yeah, the McRib's coming back. That's what we fucking started talking about before. Then we went off on a tangent, but it might be its final run. I might try one.
Just try one. I'm not gonna have one. I've had it.
Look, I've got points
every other year.
I've got points built up on the app. So if I can, if I pay for that and get something for free, so I still have something to eat, then I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Ginger says, yeah, I grew up with the best, coolest cars ever.
Yeah.
Not very safe.
I mean,
not very safe, but they were fucking cool. They were loud. They were artistic.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Stingray, right? Like that was a really unique looking car, and they had really good names for the names of these cars.
They did.
Right?
They did.
When are you gonna get another Stingray?
Right.
Yeah.
But they bring back names as well, though. I mean, they brought back the Chevelle, I think, or they want to bring back the Chevelle. They brought back the Nova for a little bit. They've brought back.
Bring back the Thunderbird. Bring back the
The
Firebird.
Thunderbird
bring back
died
those.
right after I graduated high school. I remember that.
What was Kit from Knight Rider?
Kit was a Camaro. It was either
Camaro.
It may have been an IROC, but it was definitely a Camaro of some sort.
I was gonna say, just bring that back.
And Ginger does says safe enough, which is true because there was 18 feet of steel between you and the driver's seat in every corner, so you were pretty safe in that regard. But
Like, have you seen the new DeLorean?
I didn't know that they
revamped the DeLorean.
I know that they were still making. How do you say this? New old stock DeLoreans. They were because they
have a new one called the Alpha 5.
Interesting, because I know the original molds still existed, and then the original parts still existed. So people that had DeLoreans that wanted them repaired or up converted to a more modern thing, there was one or two companies that had all of the DeLorean parts that existed. And I think they finally, a few years ago, teamed up together. Like, why are we fighting each other? Let's just do this together. But there's a new DeLorean, you say?
Brand new DeLorean. It is called the Alpha 5. It is not out yet. It is for reservation.
Does it come with kilos of cocaine in the trunk area?
Yes.
So you say this because you don't know. The original DeLoreans, when they were shipped with kilos of cocaine.
Well, as far as I understand, now that it's illegal, it's not a drug anymore that you can use for medicinal purposes when the original DeLorean was out.
Well, the 80s were a different time.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Cocaine was definitely used medicinally in the 80s.
Oh no, totally. Oh yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, you're me. Instead of giving your $1,000 rebate for cars nowadays, they just gave you a kilo of
coke.
Here you go. It's like, here you go. This is for your trade-in.
Yeah.
You want to give us your old '67 Volkswagen Beetle, and you can have this kilo of coke and a DeLorean.
In a stainless steel vehicle.
In the stainless steel vehicle.
You want to talk about safe? You want to talk about safe?
Well, just funny because the one line I remember from Back to the Future 2 was that it would crush like a can against a 50s.
Oh yeah.
Steel, whatever those cars were made of. Apparently, DeLoreans were not made of the strongest stuff.
No, I think they were. I think it was just panels on top of some kind of a frame.
Yeah, because they definitely, when DeLoreans were made, they weren't doing what they do now, which has the crumple zones in cars. Like, cars crumple now. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I like the new DeLorean looks cool though. I would get.
There's something that the old DeLoreans didn't
like $80,000.
Something that the old DeLoreans didn't have. There's a new-ish Mercedes that had winged doors as well. The DeLorean, if you were to flip the DeLorean onto its side or onto its roof, you couldn't open the door because of the wings, right?
Yep, you're stuck.
Mercedes looked at that and said, "We will fix that fix that problem. Our solution: we will put small explosive bolts in the doors. So if the car goes on its side or upside down, the doors will blow off the fucking car."
So the new DeLorean has winged doors.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if it's on its top? Like, I'm curious.
That's what I'm just saying. So Mercedes looked at that problem and went, let's put explosive bolts in the hinges. So if the car
I wonder
does
if they'll do that here.
rotate or it's on its roof, as it's rotating over, the door blows off.
I wonder if they'll do that here then. Because I'm like, there's got to be a way to blow off the doors. Oh, man. Anyway.
See, look at us thinking of safety.
Yeah, no kidding.
Keep kids alive, drive at 55. I got nothing else. Francis, you got anything?
No.
Well,
I don't.
Hopefully we will be back here next week as I get the music part prepared, because I say maybe because who knows if I'll even, make it to tomorrow, because I got boosted and flu shotted today. So,
oh wow, good for you.
Yeah, we'll see if I'm even know what my name is tomorrow morning. Francis, where can people find you on the internets?
Actually, there's only one place I want you to go, which is tinyurl.com/monstertales, because that would be amazing if you can go ahead and contribute to that. That's the thing I'm into right now. And you can also find us on Super Geeked Up Tomorrow, where we'll certainly talk about it. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about how we busted through our Kickstarter.
The threshold and came through sailing. But yes, otherwise you can go to sinceresarcasm.net to find everything, Francis. You can go to, you can email us at the POI Podcast at gmail.com. Call, text, voicemail, 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1. I tried to be synergetic. Didn't work. What is it? Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Just look up POI Podcast. We were here every Tuesday, or at least most of them, around 7:30 Mountain Time till about nowish, maybe, or earlier. It all depends on what we're talking about. You can't always contribute. You can send in the email. You can text. You can call in. We could talk to you live. It'll be fun. Check out Francis on the Super Geeked Up every Wednesday live, or most Wednesdays live on the YouTubes. And buy his book. That's everything for this week. I'm Josh. That's Francis. We're out of here. Bye.